Tonto role was the only one for me. I think, you know, it was something that I felt very passionate about. You know, the idea of taking the sort of old cliche of, you know, the way Native Americans have been portrayed in cinema and flipping it on its head. You know, that was sort of my goal. You know? And to be able to, the opportunity to maybe reach some kids out there, some kids on the reservation who maybe need a little help being reminded that they come from warriors and that they're special, you know, and that their culture should continue to live. And, you know. So it was yeah, there was no other way for me but Tonto.
Now, I love the fact that you felt so passionately about even worrying about how the Native Americans were going to even be portrayed in this film. But why so? Did you ever think that I might offend them?
Well, that was the whole thing, you know. Prior to even before we even got into any real solid storylines, the first thing that we all sat down and made sure was the, you know, the number one on the agenda was that the Native Americans must be portrayed properly and with dignity and with great care, you know, because it is a fine line, you know.
Now tell me about you falling off this horse. You're hanging on for dear life, upside down. What was going through your mind?
Hooves. Hooves is what was going through my mind. Yeah, it was a strange moment because wasn't like one of those what you'd expect, like an adrenaline-filled moment where, you know, you're flipping out and panicking and stuff like that. It was really, in the instant, there was no fear whatsoever. I just realized somehow that I had a good handle on the mane of the horse and the reins of the horse and one leg over. So that to me was hope.
But you're jumping off of trains and you're riding horses like a teenager out there. You're not doing it like a guy that just turned 50. But did you ever like stop and realize and be like, I'm getting too old for this? Was there ever that moment?
No, it was more like you know, I mean, like after I, you know, let loose and fell off the horse, hit the deck, as it were. I mean, I was able, somehow I was very lucky, because it could have been horrific. So, yeah, I just stood up and had a couple of cuts and a couple of bruises, and that was it.
And your version of Tonto could be a scary one. Did your kids ever get scared of your makeup when you came home with it?
I suppose it depends on how you because a character like that is almost like a silent film character, you know. So everything becomes more about expression, you know. So yeah, you could give somebody the stink eye pretty good in the Tonto makeup, and it might make you feel weird. The makeup was fantastic. My makeup artist Joel Harlow is, you know, he's a good guy, he's a wizard, you know. But yeah, once you sort of get it on, once you get the makeup on there and you're feeling the character, it's all good, except for when it's about 115 degrees.
Exactly.
You know?
See, my makeup artist tells me to take off my makeup at night, but you slept in your makeup for days.
I did indeed.
Did you ever wake up in the morning, forget you had it on, looked in the mirror, and scared yourself?
Yeah, I did do this. I did scare myself once in the mirror, but I'm used to that. You know?
Oh, really?
But I tell you what was really spooky is waking up and having like half your pillow be completely like sort of smeared in black and white. And
welcome to my world.
You just didn't know what was, you know, what happened with your head.